All right, everybody stretch. And I won't have you falling asleep while I'm speaking to you, please. It's a very warm room. The last section of the program today is about the period from 1942 to 1947, about the involvement of our church, both church members within the community and then our members that served in the military. But what I'm going to do is not show you any pictures because there are really not very many pictures. But I have reports and I have letters, both from members of the church to people in the military and from the military back to church members, and from people in the community, total strangers that used the facility on Hull Street that we manned. So what you have to do now is listen to the words, because I'm going to be reading the words of these reports and from these people, because their words are the important words, not anything that I could say to try to interpret what they said. 1941. Feeling that we as church folk do have a very real responsibility for our men in service, several Presbyterian churches in the city are paying a seminary student to act as a weekend chaplain at the armory here. He is being of whatever assistance he can to the soldiers, and it is through him that we shall contact those soldiers who wish to come to worship with us. Plans for cooperation with Defense Council. The women's Bible class will arrange hostesses for a number of soldiers each week for Sunday dinner. The men's Bible class will send to the armory for these and other soldiers who may care to come to Sunday school or church. Cooperating with other Presbyterian churches in the city, we will take our turn at keeping open house for soldiers on Sunday afternoon at the Second Presbyterian Church, which is centrally located. Circle number 8, Miss Eleanor Burris, chairman, is furnishing a recreational room for one of the companies at Camp Lee, and will arrange special decorations and gifts for this company for Christmas. 1942, and this is a copy of the letter that I'm going to read to you. Canoe, Kentucky, December 7th, 1942. My dear, dear friends, the 10 boxes arrived Saturday. Thank you. When I tell you that we have about 800 or 900 people to give Christmas cheer to you, you will understand what all these things will mean to us. You should see the packages of clothing from your boxes that we have done up and marked for the different families. Please do thank the doctors for us for the medical supplies that we will use. As cold and snowy as it was yesterday, we had crowds at our 3 Sunday schools in the afternoon. Mr. Turner said, "Are you going to try to go to Ellesmere?" And I think that's the town. I can't really read her writing, but it's a small Kentucky town. "You want to go in all this weather?" "Sure, I'm going." So he saddled my mule. I put on a long, heavy riding coat, sheepskin gloves, and tied my head up in that lovely warm scarf. He held that rearing mule until I got well fixed in my saddle. Then we turned her loose. My, what a lovely ride I had. Kept as warm as toast. When I got to the river and saw how high it was, I didn't stop to think. If I had, I might have turned back. So I just plunged in, held my feet as high as I could to keep them dry, kept them out of the water, got over safely, and found 71 in the chapel. Wish you could have been there. The Spirit was there. Wish you could have heard that choir of 27 sing the Christmas carols. Please join me in prayer that many may find Christ in our lovely new chapel. Thanking you again and again for everything. How glad the people will be to get the seeds as well as all the other things. With very Christmas wishes for each one, believe me, most sincerely, Patsy B. Turner. And the note written at the bottom of the letter says, the above-mentioned boxes contained 185 pieces of clothing, 37 pairs of socks, 1 bundle of hose, 14 pairs of shoes, quilt pieces, 61 books, toys, 974 samples of medicine, 382 packets of flowers and vegetable seeds, miscellaneous articles, and a lovely knitted wool scarf from Mrs. Turner. Remember at the beginning, she said she had her head wrapped in that warm scarf. And this note was made by Lucille Wood, secretary of the Christian Social Services of First Presbyterian. Now this is a partial report by this same lady from 1942. As Secretary of Christian Social Services for the year 1942, I beg leave to submit this annual report. Christian social service is the practical and natural outgrowth of Christian living. The aims of this cause are to help human needs, to interest people in the work, and to help people realize more fully that the church has spiritual power to relieve poverty and overcome evil. To save time, I shall briefly list the activities of the auxiliary that have come to my attention. Now, she is the one who said that. Numberless magazines and books have been sent to camps, hospitals, Negro churches, institutions, and our filter center. I'm not sure what a filter center was. Members are serving in war relief agencies at the USO Club and in almost every branch of the Red Cross. Money was contributed last May to the Defense Council. Men served at the YMCA. Testaments are given to the men from our church who enter the armed forces, and bulletins are mailed regularly to them. The members in the service are remembered with Christmas cards and gifts. Copies of Day by Day, didn't know that was in existence then, have been subscribed for circles and placed in the hospital wards at the Richmond Air Base and Camp Lee. 3 decorated trees were taken to the City Home and Medical College Hospital, and Christmas boxes brought cheer to sick boys in camps who probably would not have received another gift. Money was contributed to the Sheltering Arms Hospital. The Salvation Army was given a gas stove, an electric refrigerator, and a large box of clothing. Clothes have been sent to Mrs. Bear for our missionaries. A large box was sent to Millboro, Virginia, containing an entire outfit of men's clothing. To the Richmond Home for Ladies went gifts and money donations, clothing and groceries taken to needy circle members. Our shut-ins were visited. Members renovated our apartment at Mission Court and contributed money for that work. Supplies were bought for our daily vacation Bible school. Suppers have been served. Cars and precious gasoline used to help increase attendance at meetings and church services. We might forget cars only could use precious gasoline, which was so rationed at that time. And speaking of Mission Court, this is a poem that was written by the H.L. Ross family, who were guests at Mission Court in 1943 at Christmas. Dear friends, for Scotch folk of much thrift, a coin is just an ideal gift. And strange to say, we did not hoard, but keenly viewed the family board, then hurriedly to market went and bought good things to supplement a turkey lying on the ice, cranberry sauce, confections, rice, pickles, olives, delicious cake, and a pumpkin pie at the top of the bake. So Christmas saw us round the table, eating as long as we were able, and thanking God for friends like you who think of us with kindness true. And now that for you, 43 may be as full can be, of purest joy and naught of losses, in the fervent wish of all the Rosses.